Welcome back to the channel, and today we're diving deep into a legendary SUV that many off-road enthusiasts still talk about with admiration, the Isuzu Trooper. A name that might not be as mainstream today, but during its prime, it was a serious contender in the rugged SUV market. Let's explore what made the Isuzu Trooper a fan favorite, going over its design, interior feel, on and off-road performance, and the kind of price you might expect to pay for one today. At first glance, the Isuzu Trooper has a boxy and utilitarian design that screams durability and function. The exterior is robust, with flat surfaces, upright pillars, and squared-off edges. It doesn't try to look flashy or modern, instead, it embraces the classic SUV look of the 80s and 90s. The wide stance, tall roofline, and upright windshield provide excellent visibility and give the Trooper a commanding presence on the road. Depending on the generation, especially the second generation produced from 1991 to 2002, you'll notice small design changes like more refined headlights, grills, and bumpers. Later models received alloy wheels, fog lights, and roof racks, adding a bit of flair without compromising on that rugged essence. One standout exterior feature is the rear-mounted spare tire, which not only adds to the rugged aesthetic but also enhances practicality. You'll also appreciate the high ground clearance and relatively short front and rear overhangs, both of which contribute to its excellent off-road capabilities. The doors open wide and the tailgate opens sideways, which is practical for loading gear, groceries, or camping equipment. Step inside, and you're greeted by an interior that's functional and surprisingly spacious for its class. The cabin layout is simple, with large, clearly marked controls and durable materials that were built to last. In higher trims like the LS or Limited models, you'll find more upscale touches, leather upholstery, wood grain trim accents, power-adjustable seats, and even heated options in some variants. The dashboard is upright and easy to read, which is a plus when you're bouncing around on uneven terrain. The seating position is high, giving drivers a clear view of the road ahead, and headroom is plentiful thanks to the tall roof. The Trooper can comfortably seat 5, or 7 if equipped with the optional third row in certain models. The rear seats fold flat to provide a generous cargo area, making it a practical vehicle for road trips, hauling equipment, or weekend adventures. Some models even came with a sunroof, cruise control, and an upgraded sound system, depending on the trim and year. It's not flashy or tech-heavy by today's standards, but it gets the job done with honesty and simplicity. Now, let's talk performance. The Isuzu Trooper was never about raw speed, it's about reliability and capability. Under the hood, earlier versions came with a 2.6-liter inline-4, but most enthusiasts prefer the later 3.2-liter and 3.5-liter V6 engines for their added power and smoother performance. The 3.2-liter V6, especially in the SOHC configuration, delivers around 190 horsepower, which is respectable for its time. Paired with either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic transmission, the Trooper offers a driving experience that's solid and confident, particularly in off-road situations. Where this SUV truly shines is off the pavement. With its part-time or full-time 4-wheel drive systems, low-range gearing, and rugged suspension, the Trooper is built to tackle rough terrain, muddy trails, snow-covered roads, and steep inclines. Its truck-based chassis and body-on-frame construction give it that old-school toughness that modern crossovers can't quite replicate. On the road, it rides a bit firm but comfortable enough for long-distance drives. Steering feels truck-like, heavy but predictable, and the brakes are adequate for the vehicle's size and weight. Fuel economy isn't its strong suit, averaging around 14 to 18 miles per gallon depending on the engine and driving conditions. But you don't buy a Trooper for the mileage, you buy it for its capability, reliability, and go-anywhere attitude. Now, for those of you wondering about price, here's where things get interesting. Because the Isuzu Trooper has been out of production since 2002, you're only going to find used models on the market. The good news is, they're generally very affordable. You can pick up a well-maintained early 2000s Trooper for anywhere between $3,000 and $7,000, depending on mileage, condition, and location. Rarer, fully loaded limited editions or ones with exceptionally low miles may command higher prices, but even then, it's one of the most budget-friendly 4x4s you can buy. Maintenance costs are reasonable if you can find a mechanic familiar with Isuzu vehicles, and parts are still accessible thanks to parts sharing with other GM-affiliated brands. However, it's always a good idea to check for rust, oil leaks, and transmission issues when buying a used model, especially with higher mileage vehicles. So, if you're in the market for a rugged, reliable SUV that doesn't break the bank and still offers genuine off-road performance, the Isuzu Trooper is a name worth revisiting. It may not have the modern bells and whistles, but what it lacks in tech, it more than makes up for with character, capability, and old-school charm. That's it for today's review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if you've owned or driven a Trooper yourself. We'd love to hear your experiences. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Would you like a version of this with background music cues or visual suggestions for editing?